Hello everyone, and my name is Andre, and I want to welcome you to my very first video and brand new channel called River Rat Shanty Boat. Now, why is it that name? Because I plan on converting a pontoon boat and drifting down the Mississippi River all the way to New Orleans from Memphis, Tennessee. I live in Tennessee in the East Coast. I'll be driving it over to the west coast of Tennessee, or the western end of Tennessee, and then putting it in the water there and then heading on down. Now, what's going to be unique about it, I hope, is that I'm going to try to drift the entire way, or most of the way. Of course, you have to have a motor to get out of people's way, and weather, current, there's all types of things I might have to motor for, but every chance I get, I will drift. And the reason I'm doing that is because it's been kind of a many years of thinking about doing something like this. The old romantic riverboat stories written by Mark Twain, all about Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn, or maybe they were on the Ohio River. But either way, it's kind of a fantasy, and I thought I'd give it a try. Of course, I won't be using, a wooden raft with a tent on it. I'll have to use a little bit more modern techniques to get down that river, a little bit safer. But meanwhile, I plan to take an animal companion with me. I'll be going by myself. I do have a family. They're not going to be hurting from this or lacking. They're going to be in Florida having a nice vacation while I'm doing my adventure. So everyone's going to enjoy this, I hope. Now, I plan on shooting a video, 2, maybe 3 a week, on history, on the travel itself, on the adventure, all the way from the time I buy the pontoon, which I have one in mind right now, the purchasing, the retrofits, the taking it home, taking it to Memphis, and heading down the river. So all of that will be documented, and hopefully everyone will enjoy that. I also will be able to give a few tips and tricks when it comes to handling and maintaining your boat. I've been around boats many years. I worked as an electrician on boats. I've done all types of repair on boats, so fiberglass, wood, you name it. So I've done pretty much all of it. I used to rig a lot of pontoon boats, so I'm pretty familiar with that and how they maneuver and all of that. So all of that will be taken care of, and then basically that's what it's all about. It's just taking this adventure and just going with it. There's a lot of people might say, "What's this old fat man doing?" Heading down the river. He should be home in his rocking chair. I'm sorry, that ain't happening. Not for me. I've put on way too much weight the last 3 or 4 years, sitting around every summer, kind of listening to that and saying, "Okay, well, maybe I should take it easy." Now, to hell with that. This might be my last hurrah, my last great adventure. Who knows? So I'm going to take it. I'm going to do it and enjoy it, and hopefully you, those people that are watching and following, will enjoy it too. So if you have any comments, if you want to subscribe, if you like it, it's just whatever it takes. I'm new to YouTube, so I'll get the hang of this, and I'll get some good videos out, different angles, whatever it takes. But I plan on taking 3 cameras with me, so there should be plenty to film and plenty of angles and all of that, and I'll cover as much as I can without being too boring. I've seen some videos on some adventures that just show an endless travel and nothing else. So hopefully you'll get to see a lot of the history of the Mississippi. Also with Mark Twain, he's written quite a few quotes, probably hundreds of them, and I have a book on Mark Twain's quotes that I am going to add to every video I make, except this one. That'll hopefully give a little bit of words to the wise, and make it a little bit more enjoyable. I'll probably close the videos with that, so I plan on doing that. Like I said, I have a boat in mind. I'm just waiting on getting some word back from the owner, and I'm going to go ahead and get that. And I have a choice of 2 or 3, so it doesn't really matter. I'll pick one and go for it. I just have to go look at it, and I'll probably document that too, the buying of it, the bringing it home, and all of that, and getting it all set up and ready to work on, and then the progress on the boat itself. I'm basically just going to strip it down to the deck and put a little house on it, a little shack. That's why it's called the shanty shack anyway. If you know anything about history, back in Depression, a lot of people just lost their homes or had no, couldn't afford an apartment, had no place to live. So they basically, especially along the rivers like Ohio, Mississippi, they would just put a shack on a float, some type of anything that they can make to float. And they'd live in those shacks. They had little wood burners for heat in wintertime, and that's just how they lived. So it was actually a pretty cool time when you had these beautiful river boats and you had all these shanties around, and of course you don't see much of that anymore. So I'm going to try to reproduce some of that, the feel of it, the shack on a pontoon float. Doesn't really matter that I don't have logs to float on, which probably nowadays would be pretty difficult to do, especially to maneuver it with a motor. So there you have it. So like I said, if you want to follow along and subscribe, I'd love to have you. And we'll just go from there. That's the best I can tell you for now. Like I said, it's my first video, so hopefully I'll get the hang of this and I won't be so rough. Alright, you take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Oh, there's my shanty boat. Well, probably won't even be that nice, but that's kind of a little sketch I put together here to give people an idea, or to give me an idea. And I've got some penciled pieces down here because when I get ready to drift, I want to have some rudders in the back that are hinged and turn, two of them together in tandem, and that'll give me something to steer with when I'm floating without the engine in the water. There's no sense in dragging a motor behind in the water. Other than that, I don't know if I'll have a stovepipe or not. We'll see, but that's kind of the idea. We'll see. Again, I'll take you along with me, so you'll see what happens. All right, well, you take care, and please subscribe. We'll talk to you soon.